Sometimes I've and sometimes when I've experimented with 69 or something before, I'm like, "Maybe you can give me an insider tip on this." It's like, how do I'm focusing on giving pleasure, but also
Yeah, oh, that's
receiving
good.
it, and
Mhm.
so I'm like, "How do I be in 2 places at once?" kinda thing, like, I'm like, "This feels so good, I just wanna, like, surrender into that. Oh, but also I wanna please you," and so I'm like, I don't like, how do you navigate that?
Yes, there's a couple of things.
Okay.
The first is continuously take your pleasure.
Mm.
Rather than thinking that you're doing
Mhm.
someone else, you're just being in the
Mm.
scenario.
Mm.
And when you're taking your pleasure from both ends in whatever way is happening in that moment, and you're not trying to make anything happen, which you're good at, you're experiencing the flow of the pleasure.
Mm.
Some moments your attention is on the bottom half, some moments
Mm.
your attention is on the top half, and it toggles back and forth. And toggling is actually going to heighten your pleasure
Mm.
because when you toggle, you're toggling your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, and you're
Oh.
also which heightens arousal.
Mhm.
And you're also doing something called peaking. Peaking is part of the expanded orgasm practice. By the way, let me give you a link to that. And I'll send this to you. For your listeners, if you want to know more about this expanded orgasm practice, because it teaches you how to have the practice in 21 erotic play dates.
Mm.
You could do them in 3 weeks or you could do them in 3 years. And
Oh.
I think about each one of these erotic play dates as incrementing your knowledge about the expanded orgasm practice and adding to your skill set in 21 different ways that really
Mm.
establishes fantastic partner relationship. Because the expanded orgasm practice, like everything, what you're really doing is you're getting into a heart connection coherence and you're getting into a
Mm.
limbic connection,
Mm.
especially because for you, Kristen, you're very sensually,
Mhm.
tactily oriented. You like all the different sensations, the
Mhm.
sensual, the sexual, the
Mhm.
healing, the nurturing. These are the different kinds of touch that are as
Mhm.
defined by Sherry Winston, who
Mm.
wrote one of the seminal books in female pleasure called Women's Anatomy of Arousal.
Mm.
So that's a good thing. But this expanded orgasm practice, essentially, one of the techniques that it teaches you is called peaking.
Mm.
And actually, we give that technique away as a free download when you go to expandherorgasmtonight.com.
Mm.
You get 3 free pleasure reports that teach you what is an expanded orgasm, how does it work, a technique called touching for rapture, which I
Mm.
think you should read before you go.
Yeah.
You'll really like it, and the power of peaking. And what peaking does is, let's just say you're delivering some sensation, right? You're going
Mhm.
down on this woman and you're
Mhm.
delivering sensation. When you deliver it and you're, pleasuring her clitoral tip, her
Mhm.
glands, because of course, the clitoral structure is glands, a shaft, 2 arms called
Mhm.
crura, 2 legs called vestibular bulbs under the labia majora, as well as the urethral
Mhm.
sponge, which is a tube of tissue, and the perineal sponge, which is a mass of tissue on the floor underneath the vagina. So the whole entire vaginal cavern is surrounded by erectile tissue
Mm.
that needs about 20 minutes in the female body to come to the same
Mm.
erectile situation
Mm.
that the male body gets to in a minute or 2.
Mm.
And so when you're stimulating her and it's feeling really good and you've got that limbic connection and she's really enjoying herself, take a pause
Mm.
and then continue. And what happens is the body naturally goes, "Oh, I want more." And it leans toward the pleasure, which takes the
Mm.
pleasure up some more.
Mm.
And so the peaking is a really most people, they're just like taking pleasure more, 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 harder, faster, harder, faster, harder, and it's like, that's what you learn in porn, and that's not how the
Mm.
female body, that's not what the
Mhm.
That's just for the male patriarchal masturbatory gaze.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Is peeking also called edging like that or
No.
no, is it okay.
Edging is this is another thing. So edging is when you get yourself to the moment of climax, but you don't take yourself
Mhm.
past it. And that helps you get into the feeling of becoming ready to orgasm. But in expanded orgasm, what you're actually doing is you're taking her over the falls because women don't need this refractory period of the male ejaculatory
Mhm.
orgasmic pattern that is what we all think is orgasm. Again, that comes from the 1960s Masters and Johnson studying male orgasm and showing how it goes climbs and then they ejaculate and they've peaked and then they drop off a cliff and they need time to recover. That's not at all really how our bodies work.
Mm.
That's just one of the 20 kinds of orgasm.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so the peaking is is essentially making you reach for the
Like
pleasure
yearn, like
and
the like, "Yes,
take
more
you
bleep," like
higher.
the
Yes, and you get it, and then it's like, "Ah!" But edging is getting up to the
Mm,
moment, but not going over, and expanded orgasm is you
like
take
more of
her
the
up, she has an orgasm, but what it teaches her how to do is it when she gets to that point of ecstatic climax, she stays there, and you deliver sensations so steady for her that it allows her to take the moment of climax and stretch it
mm,
out like taffy was tied.
mm,
And so she's going in and she's going, "Oh, like that, right? That's like a really long come. But the orgasm practice, the way that that stroking technique works, she can do that again and
mm,
again and
mm,
again, and it can go longer and longer and become more and more and more
mm.
intense. So,
I'm like, "What was that link again?"
and her orgasm
Okay.
tonight.com.
I'll also
Yeah,
send this to my local lover.
and that's what I was thinking for your cuddle bug.
Yeah.
Give give
Well, we
that
do other
person
things too, but, like, he's like,
yeah,
we yeah, there's a lot of cuddling, there's a lot of intimacy. It's
good,
fairly new.
good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that will be a good practice for you guys. Do those 21 erotic play dates
Beautiful.
within Expanded
Mm.
Orgasm Tonight. Teach him the clitoral stroking practice.
Mm.
That you can't get done on a weekend, 3-day fuck fest in Mexico. You can't get there,
Yeah.
but you can with your local research partner.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, "Hey, you wanna do some research?" I'm like, my new favorite emoji might be, like, the guy with the little glasses and, like, then the little horny dude. I'm like, "We can speak in code." I love to have my
I
research
like
partner so close.
me too. Another thing that's really fun is like, let's just say maybe you could go down on your new girlfriend while your new boyfriend is doggy style behind you.
Mhm.
So she can see him doing
Mhm.
you while you're doing her.
Mhm.
That's a
Question
nice
I love
center to
I
fun
love that.
on.
Like, that's an erotic image and, like, interaction for me. What would you suggest, like, if jealousy comes up in a moment like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, for her or, like, if she sees it and she's like, "Oh, this is bringing up something," or, if in that scenario too.
Yeah. So there's a couple things. The first is that when you start, you wanna make in your circle, when you're having
Mhm.
your opening circle,
Mhm.
you want to make the agreement that everybody's job is to say, the moment they feel spun out,
Mm.
disconnected, jealous, worried, not included, what have you, any of those things, your job, we need you to promise to the other two of us that you're going to be like, hey, you guys, I'm
Mhm.
help me out here
Mm.
because we can't know what's going on inside you and we don't want this to
Mhm.
bite us in happiness at the end where you were like, "You guys, I wasn't really enjoying myself and nobody even noticed." Like, you
Mm.
cannot tell what you're thinking.
Mhm.
You must tell us. This is our agreement. We're making a pact here that
Mhm.
you just go, "Hey, guys, bring me back in,"
Beautiful.
or whatever.
Yeah, no, I
That
love that. Yeah, because I love the magic and the mystery, but I'm not a fucking mind reader right now. That also reinforces the
way.
sovereignty of, like, the
Mhm.
triad and they're like, "Okay, like, hey, I'm feeling a little I need a little extra TLC," or, like, "Can we have, like, a little pause or a group," yeah, okay, beautiful.
Group hug.
I love
And
the
then the
opening
se
circle idea too.
Yeah, the opening circle is nice. And then
Mhm,
the second thing, and this took me probably not 100 threesomes to get to, but, you know, quite a few, 30 or 40. And that just takes practice. You'll get if you like this couple and you have a good time in your 1.0, you can do it some more and you'll get really good together.
mm,
And then it
mm,
gets so hot and sexy. And the thing that I recommend is that you think about it this way, especially in in group sex. Let's just say you and the woman have a really good connection
mhm,
and you're feeling really good about each other, and
mhm,
she's doing something to you. Maybe she's like playing with your boobs and giving you nipple gasms
mhm,
and making out with you, and it's super hot.
mhm,
And maybe you're sitting on the lap of the man and he's inside you, but you're kind of just moving a little bit. That sounds fun.
mhm.
Um, I love nipple gasms, and I didn't even used to think I had good boobs, like, in my 30s. When I was your age, I didn't even think my boobs looked good. My boobs were so beautiful,
Mm,
and I thought there was something wrong with them, that they weren't pretty or whatever, until I had the opportunity to ride in the Critical Tits event at Burning Man one year. My girlfriend's, she's like, "You're going." I'm like, "I don't wanna go. I'm embarrassed. I don't think I can be topless." She's like, "Bitch, you're going." And so she's like, "Let's go." She grabs my hand, she gets me on my bike, and she makes me ride. And I looked and I'm like, "Oh my God, I just saw 10,000 tits and my tits look great. My tits are fine." You know what I mean?
I
And
love
so
it.
then I realized, oh, tits are all beautiful, just like vulvas, yonis. I like to
Mhm,
call them yonis.
mhm, me too.
Yoni. That's the tantric lovemaking word. I know
Mhm,
you know that, your listeners. The tantric lovemaking word for the female genital system with a spiritual
mhm,
component to it. And it's better than vulva, which is the outside, or vagina, which is it's the inside, very patriarchal, like, "Oh, the only thing that matters is where you stick your dick, fuck you."
mhm,
Right? I don't like that. And so I like yoni, and lingam is the penis, prostate,
mhm,
testicle connection. They're reverential. So when you are feeling each other, and this is really a part of that Touch for Rapture book I mentioned earlier. So you're in this thing where you're feeling her, she's feeling you. You're having your boob gasms, you're kissing gasms, you're pleasuring, you're having this connection. But you're also like literally you've got the cock of another guy inside you. Let me rephrase that. Literally you have the man staff of this human being inside you.
the wand of
And
consciousness.
the wand of consciousness, I love it. Yes, yes, yes. You've got the wand of consciousness of her husband
Yeah, yeah.
inside. And, now you're like, "Right, I'm toggling my attention between
Mm,
my mo with her," it's the 69 thing all over again,
mhm,
"and my experience with him," and that's perfectly fine, there's no hurry, I'm just
mm,
going back and forth in my experience, but here's what I'm doing next. This is like the next level. The next level is, "Wow, I am feeling her, and I can feel her feeling me. Oh, wow, I'm feeling him." And I can feel him feeling me. But now they're feeling each other. They're
mm,
connected. She's holding on to his shoulder while she's kissing me and playing with my breast. And, she's enjoying watching me enjoy him. And so now they're connected. And now I feel them feeling each other
mm,
through me. So what
mhm,
you're doing is you're setting up these limbic love connections, these
mm,
circuits of pleasure, one between us, one for the three of us. I
mhm,
feel the two of them. You begin to have a deeply connected pleasure circuit that's basically like thrumming through you all that
Mm,
gets more and more and more turned on
mhm,
because they feel you feeling them. They feel you feeling the two of them. They can feel you feeling that. They know. So practice that. Bring your
mm,
awareness
mhm,
into the ethereal, into the limbic, into that, so you're in your heart space,
mhm,
physical sensation space, you're in your energetic space, and all of that, remember, you're just practicing. It's a practice.
mm,
Pleasure is
mhm,
just a a presence practice, a mindfulness practice.
mm,
Bringing yourself back to heart,
mm,
bringing yourself back to connection,
mhm,
slowing down. We're not making porn here.
mm-mm,
It's not friction. We're not
mm,
rubbing genitals to get off. It's
mhm.
connection.
It's like a sexual
Yes.
meditation. Gr I love that.
Yeah, so that's a nice kind of thing to go for. Like, when you sit
Mhm,
in your open circle and you're just like, one of the things I'd like to presence is that I'd like us to really be feeling each other in the heart space
mm,
and connection and in the
mhm,
energy connection, and let's practice those things. So, one is, if you feel left out, raise your hand. We will be
mhm,
immediately loving on you. And
mhm,
the second one is we're connecting in these different realms. And there's a third one that's really nice, and that is feel free to stop and rest as much as you want because when
mm,
you're making love for days, it is you gotta pace yourself, drink a lot of water, have a lot of fruit. I like grapes and things like that, so you're really hydrating and all that stuff. That's really nice. And when you take the breaks, you're in each other's arms, you're
mm,
laughing, giggling, and you're doing what I love, and this is another Dr. Patty technique. This is why I carry on her work,
mhm,
because she's not going on 100 podcasts a year and sharing this
mm,
anymore.
mhm,
She the work that she wrote really is so important. She taught us how to be poly 20 years ago. She taught us how to have this practice, and that is something called sharing frames.
mm,
And it's really meant to be a snapshot, like a frame around a moment, like a Polaroid of a beautiful moment that you just experienced.
mm,
So while you're lying there resting and hydrating and snuggling, take a moment and say, "Hey, who wants to share a frame?"
mm,
Moment when I was sitting on your lap and you were inside me and your wife was kissing me and giving me nipple gas.
mm.
I could feel the love and thrill of your conscious, what did you call it? Your conscious.
Or like, sex is meditation. Oh, and the wand of consciousness or
Yes.
the yeah.
I could feel your wand of consciousness pulsating with
Mm,
love, respect, and appreciation, and I could feel this gush of lubrication because that is what turns me on so much, is the feeling of being filled with your love, right?
mm.
Like, I'm just making shit up, like,
Oh,
that I
I
don't know
don't
what
know, but
what
I
it
love it, and I love those snapshots and, like, those moments and, like, the things that we'll carry with us and, like, maybe
Mhm.
reminisce when we're doing some, like, task or, like, or give us something else to springboard on and create. And I was gonna tell
Exactly.
you, I was like, if I were wearing panties, I'd probably have to change them right now.
Yeah.
I'm so turned on, but we have about 3 minutes left.
I know, it goes so
So,
fast.
yeah, so I was gonna ask if there's anything else that you wanna share or put in right here, to kinda close in and cap off our conversation, at least our first one,
Yeah.
because 'cause I'm like, "Girl, I want you in Austin in person."
That would
And I
work.
will get the girl gangs together.
It'd be so fun. I would love that.
Mhm.
I guess because I can sense that you're a bit auditory,
Mm.
I would say that, moan a lot, just a lot of moaning. Just be loud. Let them know it's feeling good. And
Mhm.
moaning is a learned skill. You when you start to do it, you're actually training your body to make auditory signals of what your felt experience is.
Mm.
And your body will naturally begin to do this as you let the limiter off of her.
Mhm.
You've got 2 sets of lips, one on your pants, one on your head. Well, the one on your mouth, the one up on your head wants to speak for the one on your pants if
Mm,
you let her. And so you gotta give her full-throated, unthrottled opportunity to speak her pleasure.
mm,
And when you do that, it just raises the roof on pleasure for everybody because they're getting the biofeedback they know that they need to know that they're doing a good job. So it's a gift you're giving your lovers
mm.
is moaning. And then to ratchet it up some more, I have a little ebook called The Dirty Talk Book, How to Talk Dirty Without Feeling Weird. And I think you should download that. It's a free book,
Yes.
dirtytalkbook.com, because it teaches you how to share frames, but it teaches you 4 other techniques that are basically verbal communication, sensual communication techniques that are not like porn, like, "Oh, you dirty
Mm,
little son." Oh, it's
mhm,
none of that.
mm.
It's really sexy, and
Yes.
so I think
Oh.
you'll like that because you'll be bringing opening circle, limbic connection, your
Mhm.
heart, your moaning, your dirty talk, your frames. Girl, they're gonna be so lucky to have a threesome with you.
I've got
You're
some
ready
homework to do.
ready for this.
Some
You
fun
were
some play
born
work.
for this.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Yeah, no, I will just share one little quick snippet. Yeah, the other day I was with my local research partner and he's French, so he was, whispering French into my ear, and I was
God.
like, "I have no idea what you're fucking saying, but this is incredible." And, like, I was like, "Oh." And then he
I
would go,
think you might be auditory in your kinesthetic state.
"Okay." Yeah, I'm like, "I think
My
you."
husband is, and
Yeah.
he loves the moaning, and he loves me to tell him dirty stories while I make love.
Mm, mm.
He likes nothing better than for me to hop on pop and tell him a dirty story and take him over and over and over into pleasure. So, you might be like that too. Some of us are visual, I'm a visual.
Mhm.
Some of us are auditory, and some of us are just kinesthetic, and
Mm,
it's really good to know which one is your, like,
mm.
lead. We're all 3, but it's good to know which
Mhm.
is your lead
Mm.
one so that, you can kind of really use it to your
Mhm.
advantage,
Beautiful.
deepen your pleasure.
Ooh. I love it. Yes. Thank you, queen.
Here we go. I am expecting a delicious report
Hell
upon your
yeah. I'll do my, recap. Thank you so
sounds great.
much, Susan.
Welcome. Yeah, so if anybody wants to find me, you can find me at betterlover.com.
Mm,
That's where my newsletter, where I teach all these things, you get them for free. And if you ever have a question for me, you can reply to the email that you get from me, and I'll answer you. Sometimes it takes me a while. I stack them up and I churn through all the replies, but I'm here to help. And thank you so much for having me today.
oh
I
my
really enjoyed our
ugh,
conversation.
I've been looking forward to it, and, like, any expectation that I had, you, like surpassed it and, like, blew it
Good.
open, so thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And I'll, text you after this, and so you'll have my contact information too.
Sounds good.
Mwah.
Bye.